Hey everyone, quick update for Friday, April 10th. Hope everybody had a good week of trading, surviving the squeeze. Look at the S&P, 500 plus point move from bottom to top was at 63.50, pushed above 63.80, almost 68.80. Monster move. What a squeeze. Pretty similar action in the indices across the board. Gold and silver just kind of grinding higher. Gold a little bit more aggressively than silver. Silver really more of just a grind. 10-year yield had been dropping. A little bit of a pop today, but settled in at 4.316. Oil coming off of its recent highs. Thought it looked like it was late last week, and then early this week looked like it was going to push through that 119.48 high that it made back on March 9th. But we got the reversal with the news that the war is kind of potentially, maybe, sort of, possibly over. The markets are saying it is. Oil's coming down, stocks going up. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Natural gas just continues to bleed lower after that big volatility we saw back in January and February. And the euro and the pound, big moves higher against the US dollar this week. And Bitcoin back above 73,000, settled in at 73,630 on the futures. Volatility, VIX back down below 20 for the first time we've seen in a while. In fact, lowest we've seen since February 26th in the VIX. All right, as far as my trades for the week, a little over 11,000 total. Zero DTE, price action iron condors, I did. Actually, that was not this week. I did zero. Price action was not conducive to that, so I just did zero. British iron condors, wild ride in the BIX this week. On Tuesday, I wasn't even planning to trade them, but I thought, you know what? If we get this Iran ultimatum situation, that was where that night it was like 8 p.m. Eastern. There was the deadline. And I thought, if we get this announcement at some point during the day, I'll get stopped on my shorts, but my longs will print. Well, that never happened. Instead, I just got chopped up. And I had a record 11 double stops in one day. I haven't ever had that many. So that was kind of painful. But then today, I had 13 tranches, only one double stop, and 9 pins. 9 expired for full profit. I've never had 9 pins in one day. 7 was my previous record. So in the same week, record number of double stops one day, record number of pins one day. Still a little bit red on the week, minus 2,200 on my BIX, but much more manageable after today, getting back a big chunk of that Tuesday disaster. Mahomes, small scratch losing week, had 2 max winners, had one that was almost a max loser, and then another couple little losers, so minus 148. Transformers, these are actually not transformers, just normal 1 DTEs, 2 little winners, 1 loser, minus 468. No calendars. I'll talk about my DC time machines, my double calendars that I transform into risk-free iron condors, but no straight up calendars. And then the wheel's starting to slowly climb back. This is not my week, but this is just year to date. Currently now down just 2.2%. Was down as much as 7 or 8%. The portfolio was. Realized profits a little over 6K, but then here's a snapshot of open profits. So minus 2.21% year to date on that portfolio. Directional trades had a good week. Let's see, plus 7,237. Largest was plus 2990. Biggest loser was Tesla. That was a minus 2,000. And really, that was really nothing I could do about that. Tesla just kind of got me. Tesla just kind of won. You can see I didn't mark myself with any kind of a mistake. I really just, right when I entered, price moved. I was using a market order, so I got a bad fill. And then I got a big push above my level and just cut it out. So ended up taking a 2,000 is kind of my max loss that I'm interested in taking on one of these trades, and it hit that. So unfortunately, but that was my biggest loss. But otherwise traded really well. 14 trades and 10 winners, 4 losers, 71.43% win rate. Average win to loss 1.24 and profit factor 3.11. So pretty good week of directional day trading. As far as my DC time machines, had 13 closed this week. One was a really nice winner, plus 8,250. A bunch of small winners and small losses. The loss I took today, that ended up being bigger than I had wanted. But it just kind of kept going away from my price. I couldn't get filled for anything better. So closed that out at the end of the day. But all in all, plus 6,694 on the week for DC time machines. By the way, the squeeze that we've had, right, the big up move that I just talked about in the market, that also is accompanied by big up move in the market, accompanied by a big down move in the VIX, right? We were literally just in the 30s. Now we're down below 20. That is a massive headwind for double calendars. Massive, right? And so if you had troubles trading double calendars this week, that's why. So don't get too discouraged. We knew this was coming. What I can say is, obviously we can't predict. We don't know what's going to happen, but what we can do is just try to be as selective as possible. Pick your spots, be patient, wait for timing to happen. And just, like I've done here, just keep your losses small, and you're going to come out fine over the long term. We have this new tool called Flux. If you haven't seen it yet, it's posted in the I have a new channel in Discord called the Flux Monitor tool. But basically, this is an implied volatility monitoring tool where you've got the front and the back, and you've got the ratio to kind of help define that. We just released a new scanner, so you can scan minimum increases or minimum drops or minimum increases in that ratio to help you kind of find different expiration pairs that might make sense to trade. I use this a lot for my entries. I use it to help kind of monitor and manage the position as well. So pretty cool stuff. I've been using this ever since we started using it. I've been using it very heavily to kind of monitor, enter, and manage my position. So it'll help you kind of be a little bit more precise in your entries of your double calendars or your DC time machine. So you can find that, like I said, in the Discord. I've got a new channel called Flux Monitor Tool, and it's there. Video plus the link, password, all that good stuff. It's available for pro members. All right, all. That's a wrap for the week. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Next week, the banks start announcing earnings, so it kind of kicks off earnings season, and then a couple weeks later, we'll start seeing big tech. So look forward to that. Not much else except for PPI on, I think, Tuesday morning pre-market, but not a whole lot of scheduled stuff. I'm sure there'll be some fun Iran-generated news that comes out to shake the market up, but as far as scheduled news, that's about it. All right, all. Have a good weekend. Take care.